Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, a Let's Play series and tutorial. Here's a quick recap of the scenario settings that we've got going on, and then of course, you all had the opportunity to vote on what melee weapon preference I should have. Well, it seems that no forced preference was the winner, beating one-handed by quite a bit. So, picking up where we left off, this has been the grind for glory, really is what it is. I do have an active quest of the Folly, but of course if I take a look at my clan tier, ideally I want to keep pushing it up and up and up. We are on a hunt for additional companions. Just to recap, we've got Can, who's probably going to be a party leader. So eventually when your clan tier goes up high enough, you'll be able to have one of your companions separate out and form a party. So as you can see on clan tier 2, I do get an additional clan party. And that will allow Can to lead her own army. Why Can? Because she has good stewardship over everyone else that has basically none. I do right now have 2 scouts, but that's all right. One is going to be more of a bodyguard than a scout. So, picking up where we left off, I'm just on the hunt for quests. I'm basically questing to increase my reputation in Vlandian land. As far as my weapons go, given that I have no forced preference, I do, if you recall, have some focus points in one-handed. I think what I'm going to do is focus primarily on one-handed weapons, but additionally use a lance from time to time. The Vlandian in me would appreciate that, right? But because I am focused on charm and leadership, stewardship, and medicine, I'm going to be putting my free attribute points in them, so that I can attain a higher max level of things like charm. So, what I'm going to do now is to put a focus point in polearm and maybe one in athletics so that I'm not so dang slow. Alright. So the purpose of building up my reputation with local leaders is it gives me access to higher level troops when I'm recruiting, which helps to shortcut the whole, oh, I only have some basic recruits that basically don't do anything, cannot be used for combat. Now, there was a lot of comments about the limited availability of troops. Basically, Vlandians don't have bowmen. They do have crossbowmen, but they don't have bowmen. Now, here's the thing. For my own personal army, I'm going to attempt to solely recruit Vlandians unless it's some sort of emergency. Let's say I'm getting sieged and I really don't have any other choices. I will try to have it be entirely Vlandian-based troops, but in the case that I can't keep that, I can recruit prisoners or whatnot, whatever, in a pinch. But my companions, the other parties, my vassals, they can basically have whoever they want. I'm not going to micromanage their own armies. Meaning that I will have a bunch of bowmen eventually, inevitably. Just because of the fact that my vassals and companions are welcome to use and have whatever they want. So, I am looking for quests to pick up. I'm looking for people that know about the Folly. I'm looking for large groups of looters to level up on. And boy, am I not finding any of the above. But there seems to be actually tons of looters out here that I might be able to cut my teeth on. If you attack one, sometimes groups of them, yes. So 17 and 5, a group of them sort of combined and merged. This is something to note. This is also true of enemy armies.
Footman!
So you can have a situation where a whole bunch of your or a whole bunch of the enemy armies that are smaller than you merge and into one giant war party. This is something to be careful of when you are attacking territory and things like that. So I'm just making sure that my one-handed skill gets a little bit of love. I haven't really been leveling it up much. Now I am primarily going to be bow focused. But with that said, I will need my one-handed skills, especially when I'm either out of arrows or I'm assaulting a base. I find that when they're fleeing like this is a great time to level up those melee skills, because as you can see, these looters aren't really trying to fight me at all. Okay. We also got our companions to level up a little bit as well, which is also very helpful. And I captured a few looters. It looked like my new companion got knocked out, but that's not surprising given their lack of skills and gear. And then some of my crossbowmen leveled up as well. So we'll just keep jumping from looter group to looter group. It's not that efficient way of making money or
Infantry soldier on them.
making money or experience, but it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. Oh, so this map tile has a bridge, which is going to be a little bit more difficult to just joust. As you can see, the Lancer troop that I have here attempted it and had to jump off the bridge and is going to be very limited in their movement. So I'm not going to follow suit. I'm just going to use the bow here for this bit. I just got to be very careful of friendly fire. Now at this point, it looks like the remainder of these looters are going for the retreat. So I'm going to double tap W for a giddy up. And cut them down, leveling up my one-handed. Yes, not very merciful of me, but they are wanted bandits by the local lord. So those that survive will be turned in. Let's go with spearmen. And hitting another group of bandits. Again, probably bridge.
Everyone,
yep.
engage!
Because there's a bridge on the world map, as you might be able to tell, there's going to be a bridge in the battle, which is a pretty cool feature. This time, that bridge is not of strategic use. Sometimes, the enemies will be over a bridge. It's one way to shut down, like, cavalry charges and stuff like that. So, it might be beneficial if you have unique terrain around you, like bridges, to try to use it, especially when you're up against superior numbers of cavalry or something of that nature. These looters are actually doing some decent damage to my troops. But it's a good way, even if I do get wounded, to level up my medicine and my own personal skills. How am I not hitting this guy? I'm not this badly out of practice. That was a miss, but that's just because my riding skill and my bow skill aren't high enough for accurate shots on horse. Eventually what will happen is you'll level up and with better bows and more skills, you just become more accurate. There we are. Well, only people got wounded. No one actually got killed. That's good. Now, I am capacity exceeded. So it's probably, as you can see, I'm moving really, really slow. It's about time that I head on in and Can leveled up in riding. That was what the indicator there was. And then a whole bunch of these recruits leveled up as well. We got some Vlandian sergeants now. Okay, turning over the prisoners. There is a tournament in the arena, which I'll probably join. But let's get rid of these gear pieces. Now I'm going to pick through them to make sure that anything that is of worth gets used. Most of what you'll find off looters are really not that very good, but our new gal here, who has yet to, well, she got raffled off, but she's not named yet. Is missing quite a lot of gear as well. Okay, sell the rest. And I'm going to buy 2 additional desert horses just to supplement the carry weight so that I'm not over capacity. I think what ended up happening was fighting all of those guys. I managed to loot so much food that it became encumbered, which is kind of funny. So here we go, joining the tournament. It's a Vlandian tournament, so probably crossbows. Ooh, some nice boots. Some crossbows and horse lances. And oh, this one's 4-man free-for-all. And me versus my new companion. She was obviously wounded from last combat, so she went down very quickly. And Can just went down, so 2 of my companions already getting knocked out of the tournament. Now it's a 4-person 4 versus 4. I actually would prefer to level up my lancing skills over a crossbow, because I'm not supposed to be crossbow focused. Yeah. So, if given the option to, grab a lance, I'll take it. My horse is, yep, about to go down. Now, if you thought spears were a weird poke fight, unmounted lancing is even weirder. So, you know how I mentioned how it always seems like my my shields break first? It's because the enemies that I'm up against tend to have higher melee skills than I, and that way they bust through my shields before I bust through theirs. So again, I'm going to avoid building up a lot of momentum to keep myself safe, so that way I can't lose from a one-tap, because it also looks like this sergeant here has stronger armor than I do. Oh, but he's down. And then me versus a Vlandian Vanguard in a sword fight. Let's let his guard down. Trying to block the direction he's attacking. Oop, and failed that time. But he's dead, or rather knocked out. I get the Cavalier boots, I get a little bit of money, I get the renown, which is primarily what I'm after. Although the male boots that I got were a pretty good improvement over what I currently had on. Some tattered wrap shoes. Obviously not gonna keep me all that protected. All right, so I think I've tapped this area out pretty severely for quests and the like, so I'm going to head on out. away from my usual haunting ground, I'm really not finding a whole lot of quests to do, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping to quest up and build up some reputation with the local leaders here, but they simply just don't have anything for me. There's another tournament. There's no one in the tavern. So if I can't, if I can't end up questing, what I'll do is at the very least I'll try to fill out my companion queue. So I did say I wanted a lance. So this lance here is a Vlandian light lance. Well, actually, maybe I'll just buy the real one that can crouch. Or heavy lance. I do have the money for the heavy lance. So, yeah, I'm going to take a heavy lance. Every now and then, I'm going to switch from my one-handed to a heavy lance. Not for the tournaments, obviously. The tournaments, the weapons I have for the tournaments are decided by the tournaments. But I'm going to lock this lance in so I don't lose it. I'm also going to lock everything else in. So anything that's locked can't be accidentally sold. As you can see here, my sell all button doesn't really work when it's locked in. Okay, joining the tournament. This time I'm actually full health. Last time I was actually hurt a little bit. It was, I think, 93. Okay, I'm not going to worry about horsemen. I'm not thrilled about being in a 3v1. Oh, well, she's down. That was my companion again. Now it's just the Lancer, horseless Lancer. Gonna be a pretty easy knockout, I think. At least it could go through these quick. So now it's a 4-person sword fight. I like how they scream. Also, another thing that I unlocked was Shield Bash. Shield Bash is a useful skill to use when you're in a deadlock and you just can't manage to get through their defenses. You use E. I find that shield bashes are a little bit easier to land than kicks. Kicks is E when your shield's not up, and then when your shield's up, it's a shield bash. Both are pretty good to use to break defenses, and it does a little bit of damage as well. But as I said, I find it easier to land the shield bash than the kicks. Yeah, I took a little bit of a risk there, building up momentum, but it paid off. It was a very, very quick fight. Not a whole lot of earnings from bets, because I think maybe I was slated to win. And then let's take a look at the helmet. It is a nasal overhelm, which is a little lighter weight than what Dalaset had on. So I'm going to sell Dalaset's helmet and take the other one. No war horses are being offered up here. That's fine. Okay. Well, on the hunt for a companion, I'm going to head on over to Ostakin and maybe find a companion or a quest over here. Okay, we do have a quest. He has an issue, but let me check out the tavern. So, Drubsala the Wronged, I believe I passed over you because you didn't have any skills. And then the arena has a tournament, and you have a quest. So, an army of poachers. An army of poachers is when you have to deal with a large group of bowmen that have been poaching the land. So there's a diplomatic way to do this, and then there's the combat way to do this. To note, if you're very poor, the poachers, because they are poachers, they have a lot of leathers, generally, and it's a really quick way to make a lot of money. Just to throw that out there. as my polearm level increases, I'll be able to hit harder. I know I'm not crouching these, and I could. But it's mostly so that I don't get in the habit of building up too much momentum. Because that could be pretty fatal. Oh, can's down. Oh, that was pathetic. Totally missed. Oh, and now it's just me versus these crossbow. And done. Ouch. I'm gonna lose my horse, I think. These billmen are, Oh, I did not mean to get off and kick my horse. Okay, well, I'll keep the horse alive. So it's Richard the Stag and I versus this last veteran archer. And that was not my best performance, but that's all right. Ooh. Thought that was going to hit. Dallas is down. So it'll be me versus Richard the Stag if we move on to next round, which is my companion and I being the finalists. Come on, Richard, get him. Oh, what a non-hit there. Let's get through this vanguard. All right. Richard, it was an honor fighting by your side. Oh, it's bill poles. A weapon I want to build skill with. Oh. Dang, Rich. Oh, well, I one-tapped him. I gave him a free hit, though. Alright, so the quest I'm currently on. Let's go Army of Poachers. So, he asked I have to go to Rhadamant around midnight to kill the poachers. Rhadamant is highlighted here, as you can see. And it's around midnight. Oh, and also the helmet I got is a little bit better for Richard. So even though he was my opponent in that combat, he and lost the tournament, he still gets it. So I'm gonna wait here for some time. It's around midnight, so let's try to negotiate with the poachers rather than fight them. I don't want to kill them. Maybe we can come to an agreement. All right, first thing to take a look at, I'm most likely to be successful at this top option. So I'm going to try it first, and I'll try my charm. It worked. My character is charming, after all. And then, after that, I will try mercy here. Also worked. I'm talking these poachers out of poaching. So the clothier has obviously now likes me a little bit more. Here he is with a relation of 6. And the benefit here is if I recruit troops, now I can get a levy crossbowman that I probably wasn't going to be able to get beforehand. That might not be true, but whatever. I get access eventually to better stuff, which is pretty cool. All right. The hunt for companions. One way to find a companion here is just to go to your encyclopedia, which is N, and say, like, hey, you know, I want, like, an alive wanderer, and here are all of them, right? And I could go through and be like, well, no, let's try to find someone that fits our bill through the encyclopedia here. Honest, generous. We're really looking for a surgeon, I think. So daring. And Dumont has good tactics, but is not daring. Here's a healer, again devious. Oof. Merciful and honest. I might come back to you. We'll see. Nope. Win the accursed. And this would be okay. So she's a very capable companion. And then if you were curious, if you were like, hey, I like her, she's last seen here. I could go track her down. It is probably the more efficient way of trying to find people that maybe fit your desires. And that way I can... Oh, well, you're already my companion. That way I can cherry pick. So here's another tactics rider with throwing skill. Darren, wow, you have no skills. Full of golden. Okay, yep. Full of the golden. Coal biter. Nope. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to change my requirements a bit. Because I've gotten through all of these, and there's only a few that I like. So, Folk the Smith, we'll go for you. You're seen in Sargot, or Sargo. Another way to do this is, if I go, I can track it, and zoom out, and you can see it gets highlighted. So, Folk is down there, and we'll head that way. I don't really need a smith, but I'm not going to turn one down, given that everybody else's skills are even less appealing. Now, you might be thinking that this gets repetitive. I can tell you that the combat is fun. You can always change up your weapons. I guess maybe next fight I'll change to a lance and combat the bandits or whomever I'm against with lances instead. But yeah, the game definitely suffers a bit from, hey, there is a limited amount of stuff to do. And I would be lying to say if that wasn't the case.
Come on!
Once you get a little bit higher level, once you're running your own kingdom, I feel like the opposite is true. Like, when you have your own kingdom, especially when you don't have a lot of vassals and backup, there's going to be so much that you'll need to do. You're going to be overwhelmed, I think. I don't want to speak for you exactly, but starting your own kingdom is no easy job. So the early game is a little slow, but the late game does pick up. Alright, so we are heading to Sargot. But I wouldn't mind necessarily hopping from one quest to another on my way down. That would have merit and benefit, if I can find any. I'm just going to make sure that I am not weighed down by stuff I don't need. Because I have back-to-back successes in combat, my morale's pretty good. I also have a little bit of food variety, and my stewardship skill and stuff like that helps to keep people sort of happier. Man, there are just no quests to be found. Party, someone leveled up. Yeah, a whole bunch of them, in fact. So let's make you a crossbowman. Ooh, I have a Vlandian sharpshooter. That's my best shooter in the roster so far. All right, so I did want to try out lances. So let's throw a lance on. And just a reminder here, if you go to your your mouse and keyboard, you could see here what your weapons, like what your keybinds are for attacks and all that. So crouched lance is something I want to practice here. It's a lot less risky when the opponent can't also crouch their weapon, which is why I don't usually use crouched lances in the arena, but I can use them here. And as you can see, it can do devastatingly high blows. It also keeps you, because I have longer range than most of these, or all of these looters, they're throwing sticks and stones at my horse, but they can't really land a hit on me, at least not with their polearms. And landing any sort of hits here are going to help to increase my my weapon skill. They're all fleeing. At this point, if I had a little bit of a healthier horse, I could probably take on a near infinite amount of looters because they just don't pose much of a threat anymore. And this fight here definitely helped my polearm skill. I went up a whole mess of points. No one else in the party did anything. It was solely me, but it also keeps my own guys from getting injured or killed, maimed, etc. Oh, and I gained a level. So I leveled up in polearm a little bit, which gives me extra HP. I get 3% extra hit points. As you can see, some of the lower level skills here will offer stuff like that. Let's see if I'm close to maxing out. No, I'm not really close to maxing out any other skills, so I will put another focus point in polearm, allowing me to effectively double up. Alright, Sargo, you do not have an arena fight, but Folk the Smith is here, and he's going to be our last companion for now, until our clan tier goes up. I'll pay the man. And he, despite being a smith, probably has garbage weapon and armor. Because, you know, why would he come with good stuff? Yeah, he's just about naked. So I'm going to give him... Oh, wow, he has very, very little. He's... I inherited him almost not wearing clothes at all. Let me lock down my rusty fine steel saber, because I'm not going to want to auto-sell that. I'll sell everything else. Wouldn't also hurt to... Oh, that's a very pricey horse. But gaining war horses would allow me to upgrade my troops a little bit. Alright, so at this point, I am just in the grind for renown. Probably the fastest way to get it, and the most efficient way to get it, would be to hop from town to town to see what types of jobs I can take, and also to enter really every arena fight. So here we've got, he needs seed grain. So I can either find the seed grain myself or order one of my companions and 5 men to find the grain for you. So let's try that. I'm going to say can with 5 men. Okay, Folk, let's move you up. So 5 men. I'm going to put some of my higher levels on it. Well, one was wounded, so let me pull you out. There. Done. You gave a little bit of gold to my companion to then find what Mott needs. And if I check the clan tag here, Can is now solving issue. I'll be informed when Can's done. But that's one way to do these quests with very little effort, as long as you have the personnel to spare. I just wanted to at least demonstrate that way. Normally, I would do it myself. Oh, wow. You are very skilled. Might be the next recruit once I have space. But no quest to be had there. Oh, you. Deliver herd to Sionon. Sure. That's pretty far away. That's way up in the Botanian territory. But, you know, I'm hungry for it. I also could tell my men to do it, but I'm happy to do it myself, and the reason being, it gives me at least a direction to travel in. So, you're still solving issue. So Sionon is probably a few days ride away. Now, another way to build up a lot of rep is to clear out hideouts, even if no one gives you a task to do it. You have to make sure that you can survive the hideout fight. So let's attempt to clear this out, and the local leaders around me will be happy that I did it. Oh, you know what? I really should not have a lance. Yikes. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I do have a shield, though, which helps. So 2 of my companions, as you can see, started up, choked up, way closer to this fight than I did. So I'm going to tell them to charge. Richard Stagg's already knocked out. And then what I'm going to do is switch. Well, that's... I'd ideally want a sword. Okay, here we go. These guys have some swords. Now, the lance I'll get back at the end of the combat. I'm not permanently changing my weapons here or anything like that. Oh, I strafed into that, didn't I? A little worried about my companions stepping in. Okay, yep, they're constantly trying to step in front, so I'll tell them to charge. There we go, another freebooter down. And the balance of power is up at the top. As you can see, I'm faring okay. I do have to be careful not to get my own people killed. And this is generally why I don't clear out hideouts unless I have a quest for it, because it can be a fairly costly endeavor. Oh man, my aim is bad. Oh, thanks, Clan Tabard. Make sure not to be able to see through that at all. Alright, let's tell the rest of them to charge. I'm down to 2 arrows left. Alright, sword and board time. Now, I could be grabbing arrows from ones that are fired and dropped. So it looks like the final fight will be me and a Vlandian sergeant versus their bandit leader. And I'm just going to duel the bandit leader because a 5 versus 2 or a 1 versus 1, I think the 1 versus 1 is probably easiest. Very well. very happy I picked up the sword. Doing this duel with a lance would be a bit more difficult. I'm going to have to remind myself to switch weapons often. I'm going to have to get in the habit of that. All right, so I got some bushwhackers and freebooters. I only lost 2. The equipment that I got is a little bit higher level than just killing out, killing out regular looters. And then at the end of that, you saw that I gained 2 rep with some of the local leaders. Unfortunately, the local leaders are Battanian and not people I'm going to need rep with. But I just wanted to demo what that would look like anyway. So I have some Vlandian, a whole bunch of these Vlandian peasants that will level up. And I still, even though I'm in Battanian territory, I want to hit up whatever arena fights that I might be able to find, because that's really efficient for renown. Oh, and it has nice armor too, so that doesn't hurt. Now, Battanian heroes are some of the best bowmen around. So you got to be a little careful of fighting them. So I'm gonna prefer killing Battanian. And then their weapons, as you can see, are a little bit different weapon set than... Uh-oh. Oh. My teammate got knocked out quite quickly because it was just a crossbowman in a melee fight. Yeah, a little different weapon set. Oh, great. I have another crossbowman than what you'd normally see me with. Part of the issue is I'm getting to the brawl a little late because my athletics skill's pretty low. But now, for the final round, at least I get to kill this crossbowman that I've been having to carry the whole time. Watch him kill me. No. Not gonna happen. Alright, so I did get some Highland scale armor. Real hope that that is some powerful, good armor. I'm not gonna look Vlandian if I've done it, but I don't care what I look like. So the Tattered Rough Tide bracers are very, very strong. So much better hand armor than what I previously had, and I got those from the freebooters. And then the scale armor is a lot higher as well. A lot higher body armor. So that's great. And then for hand-me-downs, this tunic is going to be better for Richard the Stag. This hand armor is better as well. For Dalaset, the hand armor is a little bit better. Leather gloves. For Folk, the coif that I got. Oh, he actually has some okay leather gloves. All right, great. Now, the rest of the stuff I don't need. Let's lock in the horses. Got a whole bunch of horses. I guess from the freebooters. I'm not actually sure where I got those. So let's sell the cleaver. All that extra gear. All that extra gear. Actually, Folk. I'm going to buy a step bow and some range arrows for you. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Hold on. I don't even know what his weapon preferences are. Let me check that out. So, going to the character tab. Folk the Smith prefers two-handed. Can deal with one-handed or polearm, but prefers two-handed. Okay. Well, I guess that changes things. I'll need to find a proper two-handed weapon for him. Give you a simple Sparthax. You obviously can remake your companions into whatever you want to make them into. So like for his ranged weapons, I'm going to give him a bow because he really doesn't have any sort of preference. But I tend to like to keep the companions the way they were originally intended, what their own preferences are, and then build off of that. So here's some barbed arrows. Little pricey, but that's all right. And then we are going to continue to Sianion. Given that this episode is running a little bit long, I'm just going to bolt all the way over to Sianion. The other reason being that I'm in Battanian territory and I don't really care to do Battanian quests because I want to build my rep with Vlandian leaders. But here is Caladog, who was at the Folly, and I'll get his account. I'm going to click through it real quick because I don't really care what he has to say, to be honest. And then the quest I'm currently on, let's hit J. I have to deliver to Little Dalian. So Little Dalian is a gang leader. Doesn't really matter who I'm delivering it to. Just needs to get delivered. Hello. Here is your cattle. Builds up my charm. Get a little money for the effort. And that is where this episode is going to end. So I wanted to thank everybody that voted in the polls, even though I ended up with no weapon preference that allows me to switch between several different weapons to demo them. I might even pick up a two-handed weapon from time to time. We'll have to see. If you have any tips, tricks, questions, feedback, anything like that, do drop me a line in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.